Okay, hey guys, welcome to PatternLab.London. My name's Ralph, and today I'm joined by the lovely Francesca.
Hello.
And about a week ago, essentially I asked her, we had a conversation, which is all about what it is that she would actually like us to create. So, what would that be?
A kimono.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to create a kimono for Francesca. So, off the back of that conversation, I asked her to go away and to basically come up with some inspirational images that she loved or inspired her when it came to creating a kimono. And obviously I did exactly the same thing because I've got some ideas as well, based on our initial sort of like conversation. So at this point in time, I would love for you to take us through what images you found and, you know, what basically inspires you about them.
Yeah, sure. So I'm an actor, and about a year ago
Sorry, go on.
I'm an actor, and about a year ago I played a Japanese woman from years and years and years ago, and a lot of what she says in the play is about these beautiful kimonos, and I wore a kimono inspired jacket top, and that got me thinking. So I did some research, and these two images in particular I just love.
Okay.
The colours and the prints, yes, they're beautiful, they're really loud.
So it is a very traditional concept when it comes to Japanese kimonos. It's not a modern concept whatsoever. It is really literally the real thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how that would fit in where I'd wear it, but
Okay.
I do think it's beautiful.
Doesn't matter. We're all about creating really beautiful. It's all about luxury. Doesn't matter. If you want it, we'll create it.
Yeah,
Okay.
amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see they're really structured. They're long. I can see it being a real statement piece.
Okay.
Something that I'd be
Like
really
it.
proud of wearing out and about.
So it's something you want to wear out rather than just around the house?
So this is the thing.
Okay. Right, okay, go on.
These ones I really loved, and then I started looking at other things, and
Ooh,
here
okay.
you've got the sexy lady wearing
Sexy lady. Okay.
And this is really drapey, slinky, something to wear about the house.
Okay.
And
so wait, so you want to combine these concepts together, or you want literally something for out and about that's a bit more statement, and then something around the house to look just fab?
I don't really know, and
Okay.
that's where I'm
No, that's
coming
good.
to you for my help, because
Okay, that's cool.
I mean I'd love to have two, but whether that
No, it's good. It gives
would
me
work.
more diversity, so it allows me to pick from lots, you know, a larger field of inspiration. So that's
Yeah.
perfect. Okay.
So in both of these, you've still got the really large arms.
Okay, so it's kimono inspired.
Yeah.
But it's a different take
Yeah.
on kimonos. Okay.
So, and I still like the length. I like the idea of having something long.
Okay.
Something that you can wrap up that
Yep.
way. But I also love the idea of having something inside and something also to wear
Okay.
out and about. And
to swan around in.
exactly.
Okay, to be a bit of a diva.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, nice. Okay, so let's break it down. So in terms of the design process, I really need to kind of understand the functionality of your garment or garments, for example. So let's start off with, let's say the one that's about the house, which
Yeah.
is your more, as you said, very sort of like silky satin, a little bit lingerie-esque, you know, very beautiful.
Yeah.
So what would you want? How would it work? Do you want pockets? Do you want collars? Like, what do you need on your garment?
Definitely pockets. I don't think there are enough pockets on women's
I
clothing.
was going to say, yeah, very few women have pockets in their clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely pockets. Something quite deep would be nice. Definitely something with a pulley thing.
A pulley.
You know what I mean? A drawstring.
Yeah.
Not a
Okay.
drawstring.
So but like a tie or
Something
a
I
wrap
could
or...
do up. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing. I mean, that's beautiful, but I don't think I'd get anything done around the house with arms that are
flapping around.
Yeah,
everywhere.
so that's something
Okay.
a bit shorter, like that would be a bit better.
Okay, so let's say short sleeves.
Yeah, and also I love the idea of something long, but I don't want to trip up,
Okay.
because I will.
So something that does touch the ground, but essentially still has. Yeah. Okay. So almost like.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean anything's possible. Okay, so yeah, maybe almost like a tulip shape at the bottom. So we have almost like where it almost opens at the front and
Yeah.
then pulls around the back.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and
So short sleeves, long line, not tripping over. You said pockets?
yes, please.
Okay, pockets. And so these are all very, very drapey materials.
Yeah,
So something very satin. What about lace? I mean, this one's got lace tipping, for example. But...
I'm not a fan of lace. I think
Okay, this
something
is more about the shape then, essentially.
something quite
Okay.
simple in terms of all that sort of thing.
Okay. All right, that's lovely. Have you ever thought about maybe prints or the kind of material you're going to be wanting for this kind of thing?
I would love to take inspiration from these sort of things,
Okay,
and
so the
have
Japanese
something.
print.
Yeah, have something really beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe even quite loud. I think the common theme with these is you've got something quite dark,
Yeah.
and then set against that these bright colours or prints.
Okay.
Something that makes a statement would be lovely.
Okay. That sounds cool. I mean, essentially, because obviously I'm a massive fan when it comes to prints. I did print design for quite a long time. So off the back of it anyway, I've been looking at sort of like beautiful soft satins, like beautiful draped material. But so I found, so basically Bloom magazine. So, I mean, for example, we have something, as you said, a very, very dark background, something with a little bit of light, maybe a touch of colour. But I think in terms of your skin tone, it's probably hard to see on camera, but if you saw it properly, but something that's very beautifully satin, draped.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really, really like that.
Okay, but there's no reason why we can't go a little bit Japanese inspired.
Yeah.
But using more of like a modern print technique possibly would be quite nice. And obviously these ones as well.
I like it, not as much as that.
Okay, well, because this has got more pinks or...
There's a lot more pink and whites,
Okay,
and
so you're more just, not black and white, but...
I don't know what my colours are,
Okay.
but I don't want to look too washed out, and something that's got...
Lots of white in it might do that.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, fair enough, absolutely. Okay, that's cool, that's perfect. So, this is us talking about sort of like the one at home, but you said you're talking about something else as well, maybe a different kind of concept, which is like, the Japanese original...
Yeah, I guess more closely related to that, something that I would wear out and about.
Yeah.
Something essentially that would be made of a thicker material, more structured.
It's like a coat almost.
Almost.
Okay. But using the Japanese influences, so something a little bit more structured.
Exactly.
Original Japanese styling, but more of a coat.
Yeah.
But still a statement piece.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when it comes to floor length,
well, it might not be handy having it trailing on the floor.
And that's what I mean.
But do the same sort of like attributes apply? So is it still going to be short length, or do you want the long sleeve? Is it still going to be a belted waist?
Yeah, definitely a belted waist still. Definitely pockets, please, pockets.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing too long. I still want something long. Maybe like mid...
Thigh, calf? Not
mid
thigh.
calf.
Wow, no,
yeah.
calf. Yeah, mid calf.
Mid calf would be perfect. So it's still that length.
Okay.
Again, I don't want something that's going to stop me from being able to do anything, but if it is something I'm wearing out and about, it would be quite nice to have a bit more length in the sleeve.
Okay. I mean, we've got a few different images here. To be fair, I think you've kind of already got it. I mean, because I always thought like it'd be a nice idea, as you said, like an outdoor piece as well. But
yeah.
I mean, this is lovely, but maybe going more along the lines of what you were talking about before, which is the inside home piece. But in terms of, I don't know, it's going to be tricky, really. Okay, well, let's think. Okay, so more of a structured piece. Not as long, maybe 3/4 length sleeve. But do you still love this idea of the whole sort of like the collar to the kimono? Is it going to be very much more sort of like an open V, for example? Or it's a bit like... See, this is more modern, this is more traditional.
I prefer the traditional one because I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it would be interesting to see what you come up with.
No, fair enough. I mean, look, this is essentially just a brief and we're going to come up with all different kind of design concepts based on it, and I'm going to do a lot more research, but okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, as I said, we've got a few images here, but this possibly, I mean, it's not kimono, but it is sort of like that whole kind of coat idea. It's very oversized, something you can wrap yourself up in.
I'd want longer sleeves for something like that.
So not 3/4 length, but almost like a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel the cold easily.
Fair enough. No, okay, cool. Okay, look, we've got loads and loads of images here, which is perfect. I've got a vague idea I've got a decent idea of what you kind of want in the two very, very different garments.
Yeah.
It's now essentially my responsibility or my job to kind of like take that inspiration or that brief and then come up with some more concepts and maybe do some designs around it.
No pressure.
And yeah, exactly. And also video blog at the same time. And also do the other work. But so I will come up with a series of designs that will hopefully kind of take inspiration from, let's say, your brief. But what we'll do is we're going to put them all up on the wall behind us and start to refine it. I'll do some research. I'll look into the different aspects like pockets and trims and crossovers and all kinds of different bits and pieces. And come up with something that hopefully kind of like fulfills that initial brief. And also I think with this project, because kimonos are very print inspired, we definitely need to either get in touch with a print designer or maybe we do a print by ourselves, but something that's very much developed for you around your colours.
That sounds incredible.
And I know that you're not quite sure what your colours are, which is fine, but we can like come up with a range of different ideas and maybe like test them out against your skin.
Sounds so exciting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But okay, well, it's a lot to get on with, so it's all good. Thank you very much for this very quick, brief.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. And we'll get you in again and we'll go through the next steps of the process.
Can't wait.
Cool. High fives. Yeah.
Woo.
Okay, so I now have a pretty good idea of what Francesca's actually looking for when it comes to her two very, very different designs. We have the kimono on one side and we also have the beautiful robe on the other side. So it's now up to me to essentially go away and start researching and developing my ideas so we can actually start the design process. Like any project, I already have my favourite, which would be the beautiful printed black robe that is something very, very iconic and very gorgeous. So that's the one we're probably going to start off with. I already have some imagery for this robe based on the imagery that obviously Francesca gave me and also the imagery that I have, but I really need to sort of like expand on that when it comes to the pockets, the collars, the necklines, the silhouette, even the print details. So Pinterest essentially is the best platform for me to use at this point. So as you can see, I've created a new board on the PatternLab Pinterest account and started to pick up images that feel right based on my first impressions of the brief. I'm looking at a variety of different concepts. Silhouette, which is the shape or outline of the robe. Design details, which include pocket styles, sleeves, hemlines, and also necklines. I've also started looking for colour and print inspiration. This inspirational imagery gives me a rough outline of what I imagine the garment to look like when it's finished. It's a continual process of pinning images, refining my search, adding more images, and then deleting ones that no longer feel right. It doesn't have to look beautiful, it's simply there to inspire and work through your ideas. It can take hours or days. The more time you spend, the more detailed and specific your ideas become. Okay, so once I've obviously got my Pinterest research, it's now time to like pull all the really inspiring images from Pinterest and like start putting together some mood boards. So first of all, I've kind of focused, because the print is a really important part of this garment, it's almost like the main event. I've gone for the sort of like the print, colour and print sort of inspiration first of all. So first I want to get the overall mood of the garment. So Francesca has like an olive skin, she's got dark hair, which means, for me anyway, a very tropical print with a dark background and like rich emeralds and jewel colours. I think this would suit her really well. Also, as well as the mood, I'm also trying to imagine the setting. I'm thinking jungle, hot climates, and rich, luxurious holiday destinations. Something that will really kind of like show off the garment, the colours, and also the print. Essentially, I'm picturing Francesca wearing the garment as if we had already created the photo shoot. It kind of gives the garment place and meaning and gives me a real insight into maybe what it's going to look like at the end. We'll be designing and creating our own print later in the design process, so we'll kind of revisit this board a bit later on. So I'm happy with what I have, I'm just going to maybe come back to this a bit later. Let's move on to silhouette. Okay, so what will this robe actually look like? So first of all, I start with the silhouette or outline of the robe. This will form the base from which we can start to add design elements. So based on her brief, we're looking for something quite iconic and rather decadent. I imagine the robe to be fitted on the shoulders and upper body, but then tied at the waist with like a dramatic lower half, possibly based on like a full circle skirt that kind of collapses and drops into layers that kind of touch the floor. So something really, really very, very iconic. Next, let's move on to our design details board. Okay, so first of all, we have the sleeves. So let's start, with the sleeves. Okay, so based on the imagery that I found, I have three possible options that I like. The first is like a close-fitting set-in sleeve, almost like a wedding dress. This could possibly be turned into a dolman or a batwing if we wanted to add a bit more volume below the arms. Option 2 is like a far simpler and easier to wear. It's a kimono style crop sleeve, almost like a long cap sleeve, but it might not have the desired dramatic effect that we're kind of going for, and it might off balance the garment, especially with that big long bottom half train. So either way, it's worth considering. My last option is to use a flared or lantern sleeve for that gorgeous full volume drape effect. Francesca has mentioned that she wants to have her arms free, which is why a flare might not be the best solution, but possibly I could use a cuff that could be fastened either at the wrist or maybe further up the arm to make it a little bit more functional, okay, to kind of get that, to have that volume, but to kind of get it out of the way. We also have pockets, so she's basically requested that we have quite large, deep pockets, which I think is, a really lovely idea and can be used either as a design detail, which is like attached to the exterior of the garment, or we can maybe conceal it completely by placing it inside all that beautiful volume at the bottom below the waist. We also have some hem ideas as well. So although the robe will touch the floor at the back, I must remember that the front will need to be open so she can walk without tripping over. Possibly like a tulip hem or maybe like a side split would possibly accomplish this. So still some ideas to think about there. Next, we're going to look at the collar and neckline. So I've always been a massive fan of that high kimono neck, but unfortunately without a structured fabric, it might just drop and not have that kind of a desired effect. It won't stay very crisp. So we'll probably stick with a flat collar with a lovely deep plunging V neckline, and possibly a crossover that will like tie at the side of the waist, and maybe then go into a split, not quite sure yet. Either way, these research mood boards will form a great starting point from which I can start designing and start working into these. It's quite a bit to be getting on with, so we'll come to the other garment, the kimono coat, later on. Okay, so we're just going to be working on this beautiful robe first of all. Okay, that's pretty much everything from me this week. So essentially next week we're going to be looking at actually creating some beautiful designs based on the research that we've gathered from Pinterest and our mood boards and all the various different kind of features. And we're going to be basically printing off design templates, which are essentially, let's say, models, very, very faint, and then we're going to start drawing on top of that to speed up our process. I'll show you how to do that next week. Yeah, so in the meantime, if you want to basically understand how I actually created these mood boards, very, very simple. I'm going to give you a tutorial in Adobe Illustrator about actually how to create them. And also I'm going to put up some templates online for you to play around with as well. So really fun. That should be later on in the week, but so have a look out for that. Also, if you want to stay up to date with all of our projects, our new products, and also this particular project, please subscribe to us on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram. You can like us on Facebook. And you can also find us on Twitter. And if you're a fan of Reddit, we're also on there as well. Yes, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.